All right, everybody, welcome back. Thank you so much for waiting. Greatly appreciate your patience. So, while we had the momentary time offline, it looks like WhenChucAttacks is ahead by just about a level. Yeah, it looks like he just finished 2-5, and Narfman is just beginning it. Looks like Chuck was able to grab the hammer while avoiding the down box, which is over by 2-4. And I don't think I saw the down box over on Northman's side, so it's either on the far left and he scrolled past it, or he was unfortunately had no choice but to pick it up, got the silver platter, so to speak. Yeah, we see a very clean pyramid over from Chuck, so he's going to be finishing off with a very clean 283 pipe entry. So we'll see if Northman can follow suit. Gets a nice shell grab, nice platforming over there. All right. Maintains his P speed. Nice clean duck jumps underneath that tile. Alright, looks like Chuck, I think, got an 807 A press on the castle. So it looks like he should be on pace for about a 931 wand grab out of World 2.
Yeah, it may take a little bit for the streams to sync, but I'll be able to grab the World 2 splits here to see where they're at. Narfman having to play 2-3, the Sun level, and either 2-4 or 2-5 for probably the first time in a little while.
Yeah. So used to doing all those early hammer manipulation runs, so I'm sure to some degree the levels must feel a little bit foreign, but his memory is still very well intact for those, so we got through those pretty cleanly. Alright, I do believe we got a movement of 1 over on Chuck's side, so... Oh, he walked off, so got the movement of 2 pattern.
He's just going for the stomp.
Yeah, I don't really know like what Chuck does or doesn't know about the fire kill patterns, so we'll see if he does stomp kills for the rest of the game.
Oh, Narfman having a little trouble as well.
Yeah, I think he was a little slow on the follow-up fireball shot, so he didn't want to risk getting hitboxed by the popping shell. Yeah, still a relatively close race between the two of them. I think there's maybe a 15 to 20 second gap. I'm sure, Neo, you would know better than I would.
I got 15, and I'm just going to put it in the chat here. So we have Narfman at 9:47 and WhenChucAttacks at 9:32, so difference of about 15 seconds.
And again, it may be closer than we actually know, because for all we know, Narfman could have potentially picked up the Dom box, so he has an opportunity later on to close the gap, depending on how he routes or uses his items.
He did mention that he was going to actually try to get the Dom box, I believe, on every run, so there is a pretty good chance that he has it.
So yeah, if the Dom box is the only thing that's really separating them time-wise, then they're effectively tied, like Skate said in chat. Ooh! Having a bit of a rough time with that 3-2, but manages to avoid taking damage. See if he gets some charitable cheap cycles. Doesn't get hitbox so far. All right, and he's very nice backups, and he's out of here.
The scary thing is his Ronnie is also in a dangerous spot for Chuck.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, thankfully it's still very early on in the world, so there's still a possibility that he can either skip both bros or Ronnie has a chance to come back. Alright, we got a very nice and clean 3-3 from Chuck. Same from Narfman. Yeah, 3-3 is one of those levels that's not really too hard in terms of platforming. There is a little bit of memorization involved, but it's also super punishing because there's no opportunity to really regain P speed back, so on average it's you typically see about a 5-second loss if something happens. Ooh. Chuck is taking a bit of a gamble there, hoping that not only does Ronnie stay back, but yeah. Oh, and there he goes again. I mean, it's not too late, but yeah, hopefully that doesn't backfire on him. I think that with Ronnie as dangerously close as he was, I would have just taken the possibility of just chasing down the star first, or just skipping both of them altogether.
Same. Yeah, Narfman has didn't even have to worry. His bros were in no runaway position.
Come on, oh Ronnie. See, unfortunately, Chuck is going to have to take that death there in order to reopen up the bridge, so we can cloud past the level. Oh, and if Ronnie came back just now, he would have had to take another death.
Yeah. Oh, this is dangerous.
Yeah, it looks like Chuck tried to go for the backup mushroom in 3-8, so looks like he missed the note block there. He's still in the lead now, but depending on when he decides to go for the power-up grabs, or if he's just going to pass on them all together and just try to do some backups in World 4. We'll see how that transpires. So are we going to stop for a mushroom, or are we just going to go straight for the H jump? And we have our H jump, all right. So I think that Chuck is going to take the route where he just grabs the mushroom on the airship and then just kind of YOLO some Wendy stomps. All right, we got 2 very nice H jumps. All right, we've got a 1425 A press from Chuck. And 1429.
Teeks, you were able to make that small coming out of World 3 work in your race, so we'll get to see if Chuck is able to do the same.
Yeah, Wendy can be really, really scary when you don't have any fire kills at your disposal, so we'll see how he's able to handle the way the shells and the rings, dance around the arena. But more often than less, I want to say that stomp kills are pretty successful if you just manage to stay pretty aggressive with her. Just get a stomp as soon as the hitbox becomes vulnerable again and she doesn't have a chance to raise her wand. Uh-oh. Alright, he makes it out, albeit small. But thankfully, he'll have an opportunity to grab another mushroom pretty easily in 4-1. Although it might make getting P-Speed a little bit tougher depending on where he gets it. So he still maintains a healthy lead for now by a couple of seconds, but Narfman is really caught up because he didn't really have the same issues with Runaway Bro, and he was able to keep his fire.
Yeah, actually I have Narfman in the lead by 1 second.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was a little hard to see because their 2 timers are about 4 seconds off from each other, so my brain's getting a little scrambled.
No problem. Yeah, Narfman is having the big advantage of fire, and yeah, big world. Yes, being small in big world is not where you want to be.
Alright, looks like Narfman's going for the God Gamer 4-1, where he just foregoes the shell altogether, just goes straight forward with P-Speed, gets out of there cleanly. Unfortunately, Chuck is going to have to take a couple of backup strats along the way, because there's so many places where having fire strats would be a little advantageous. Alright, so we see a stomp and fire kill on that one big Koopa, so that despawns one of the plants, so it makes the P-Speed build a little bit earlier in 4-2. A nice clean 4-2 from Chuck as well. And coming up is what I think is going to be a lot of people's favorite level, 4-3, especially for both the runners and the viewers. Just everything about it just feels so good. Just the way you maintain P-speed and just dodge everything in your path. Chuck went for the big jump right towards the end of 4-3. That always scares me, even though it is pretty safe.
Wow, great job by both.
Definitely.
Oh, the swapperoo.
Yeah, Narfman got the bad RNG where the star in the cloud switch, so he's gonna have to use his box a little bit early. So more than likely he'll be able to fight the cloud after this level, but hopefully the P-Wing doesn't get in his way if he's looking to avoid that.
Once again, Narf probably feeling a little weird being able to hammer and skip 4-1.
Oh yeah, that's another good point as well. Ooh, looks like yeah, Chuck tried to go for that Lakitu stomp, and it's a little bit early on the approach. Sniper no snipe, sniper no snipe, as Stewie says. And he's out of there, okay. Alright, looks like Chuck is going to use his box. I think he had slightly better RNG. He was able to fight the cloud right away. So the P-Wing should be out of his way by the time Bro wakes up after the fort.
So this World 4 Starbro is going to give Narfman the Narfman special that the World 6 Starbro usually gives. You basically just keep doing Move It 2 the entire time. And then we got a 50-50 on the P-Wing here in World 5. Which I don't think Narfman will mind if he fights it. Because that'll save him a clip.
And yeah, that thing I said about the good RNG from Narfman, yeah, he's just gonna... Well, honestly, getting that extra P-Wing is really not that bad in the context of a race. At least that means he has some pretty safe strats that he can use in either 6-9 or 7-6. Doesn't have to really deal with wall jumper clipping. Don't know if he's going to go for the box route in 5-1, but we'll see soon enough.
And Move a 2, which is... Sometimes I gotta muster up the courage for Move a 2 because just sometimes Iggy jumps up so quickly that it's hard to deal with.
Alright, so...
Tight.
Yeah, still keeping it relatively close, even despite some of the mishaps that we had in the early game. So, really good race between these two. So we're both on the World 4 airship now. This level is about 2 minutes and 13 seconds, so feel free to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Maybe get some snacks, take a bathroom break. Maybe enjoy some dad jokes.
Exactly, and yeah, I have Teeks, the premier top shelf dad joke teller. You and High Flyer, I think, have the records. You're on my top list. Slay with the funny emotes.
Someone replaced all the buttons on the elevator. It was wrong on so many levels. A sweater I purchased was picking up static electricity, so I returned it to the store. They gave me another one, free of charge. Alright, we're coming up on Iggy now, so we'll see if either of them are going to be going for the fire kill.
I'll move 0.
Yeah, we got an early one shot from Iggy, so usually get that from a movement of 0. But I think that Narfman was able to skip the star, bro. So he must have entered the pipe like as early as possible to still maintain that pattern.
So Narfman has a great fire kill. Chuck got a little squirrely and took damage. So that's going to extend the Narfman lead. Looks like we're up to 14 seconds.
Alright, so Narfman's going to keep both of his P-Wings, so he's not going to burn one in order to grab the music box. Well, he doesn't have to because he has the Dom box already. So he's going to have 2 extra P-Wings for the late game, so he'll be able to fly over 6-9, forego the wall jump, and be able to fly over 7-6 because he has the one from the bro fight in World 4. So he's pretty much good to go for the rest of the run as far as inventory. It looks like Chuck is not going to do the box route, so he's going to do a normal 5-1.
Chuck's road switched.
Yeah, it's also worth noting that like you can tell generally when which bro is going to have which item depending on which direction they face when the overworld music starts. But as you can see, they both start facing right. So the way you can just tell as a rule of thumb is that the bottom one's going to be the P-Wing and the upper one is star. So it's if you're planning on just trying to single out one of them to fight, it's good to just keep an eye on which one is which, because pretty often that they do.
At least Chuck has a chance of only fighting one of the lower bros, so that's good.
So yeah, it's pretty common practice for runners to use the star at the beginning of the tower just to be able to skip having to dodge any of those waffle discs.
So we might see a higher than 280.
Yeah, I think we could potentially see a 282. Oh, it's close.
281 hype.
Whenever people do 5-4, it always scares me when their head just goes directly underneath the spinner. I feel like they're just gonna like bonk and fall.
And it's not nicknamed the Soul Reaper or the Soul Reaver for nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, and if the spinner doesn't get you, then the lag frame certainly could. Yeah, 5-5 is a very hard level to build early P speed. It's so easy to get frame ruled as you're doing that jump over the block.
Snipe for Hocus.
Indeed. So yeah, it looks like Chuck is going to have to spend a little bit of time grabbing the Fire Flower in 5-7. So we'll see if he does the Star Strat that was developed around the time that the P-Wing box route was done. Otherwise, he's just maybe going to go with a traditional route, which seems to be the case. Yeah, it's going to forego P speed altogether, so it's going to set him back probably another 5 seconds. But he's able to get through there without taking damage. That lag of 2 at the end of 5-7 could be pretty scary. Some rough RNG, so he's gonna pick up a couple extra bro movements because he's hiding behind 5-9 now.
Yeah, he said that World 3 runaway, and now World 5 is going to that tower just racking up the moves of 4. Potentially.
World 5 isn't called the Movement of 4 machine for nothing.
Budsy loves World 5.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, a 5.8 was highlighted in the Nintendo Power magazine for the SMB3 edition. Pretty much just challenging players to get through that level without taking damage. But when you're going for the speedrun route, it's actually pretty trivial. One of the shorter levels in the game, too.
Yeah, some levels it's safer to go fast.
Alright, so we got a 28-28 press over on Chuck's side. So, Neo, what's our time gap looking like?
Yeah, I'm counting by the wand. I think he was 27.52. I want to say for Narfman, so that'd be like 28. We'll see with the wand grab.
I mean, that sounds pretty accurate based on where they are in the airship. Alright, looks like Narfman's doing the minute for the hundo pattern, so we did 1.5 fence posts. Gets out of that pretty cleanly.
Alright, so yeah, I got the difference up to looks like 37 seconds right now. Narfman basically had a 29.0. It was on the border of 8 and 9, so I'm putting it at 9 just to be conservative. But it was, yeah, basically at a half, so like 37.5, we'll say. Chuck unfortunately got a little squirrely at the end of the fire kill there, and unfortunately, yeah, Roy's hitbox sometimes is not the most reliable when he starts bouncing around, and that just makes it worse.
Yeah, definitely, especially considering he's a Quaker, too. We saw that earlier this afternoon with, I think, Yokobalti getting stuck with the Ludwig fight.
Oh, yeah. And then in his case, the stun is even worse.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh! Chuck almost got damaged by the portaboo.
We get a nice early P-speed strat from in 6-4 from Narfman. That actually does save about 1.5 seconds. And it's such a weird strat to go for because of how inconsistent it is. Not only is it sub-pixel dependent, but depending on what sub-pixel you start it with, will determine if you need to do a 1 or 2 frame jump after you hit the ground after walking off that wooden block. Oh, and they both get the P-speed. Very nice. It's not something you see very often.
6-4 P-speed for everybody. Let's go.
That's a very interesting despawn strat I saw from Narfman. It looks like he was ready for the traditional strat, but then he grabbed the ice block right away. So I don't know if that was intentional or not, because he didn't think he got it, or that was part of his plan all along. But it worked.
Yeah. I think that was a backup. I think he realized with the lag that he wasn't gonna be able to get up there quick enough for the despawn, so he grabbed it to make sure.
All right, so it looks like both runners are going to be foregoing the Kurumbaku strat, which has become very popular in the past year or so.
And both get to skip World 6 Starbro. I think narfman0 doesn't mind the damage, so he'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that, yeah, Narfman has the extra P-Wing, so we could just, he's good for 6-9.
Yeah, I think both of them are loaded up with P-Wings.
Yep, it looks like you were right about that. So they're both going to be burning their P-Wings for 6-9, and I imagine they're both going to be good for 7-6 as well. So they both had a pretty good World 6 overall. Yeah, it's definitely a good point from Bugsy and Chad. It's been an entire 6 years since we've seen Chuck really active with SMB3, and it still looks like he has a lot of that core knowledge with the speed strats.
Yeah, he's doing great. Yeah, let's not forget. Yeah, he got Runaway Bro in World 3. I'm trying to. He had the Castle Bro in World 5. So that's that RNG is just adding extra time to this otherwise close match.
Oh yeah, we have a question in chat. In that room where you're waiting the door to come out with the 3 boos, why not go to the right side immediately? It's pretty common practice to go to the far left, so that way you could just run across to the door and then get a little bit of a P-speed burst on your way to Boom Boom. Alright, so none of them are going to be going for any fire kills on Lemmy, obviously, so thankfully this stomp kill is pretty consistent and easy. So every time you bonk his head, just nudge yourself a little bit to the left, and you'll have those balls out of your way. So we see Narfman doing a sub-pixel manipulation. He did a 1 pixel movement to the right, so I do believe he's going to be setting up for the duck clip. Although it's hard to tell nowadays because of how many people have been doing the Louis rub nowadays, so they can get away with standing clip. Just as we're about to begin 7-1, of course, the stream freezes, so... Okay, looks like we're kind of back. Alright, there we go. Yep, he tried to go for the duck clip. It was a little bit early on the press.
7-1 was not kind in the earlier race. Not kind at all. And this is pretty much just like the early race for Spicy and Demon Battler.
7-1 is certainly the great equalizer in races.
And Narfman is through. I could not keep count of that.
Yeah, I think I might be off by 1, but I think it was like 14 or 15 attempts.
Chuck can get through, this would tighten up considerably.
All right, Narfman going the traditional Star Strat in 7-2. Very good idea. All right, so there's about a half-level gap between them, if I read that correctly. So, still very much within hands distance, and there's still a lot that can go on between now and Bowser. So, definitely not over yet.
Yeah, it's kind of old information, but yeah, heading into World 7, Narfman had a 43-second lead, but 7-1 probably started to shave quite a bit of that off.
Yeah, I think Chuck struggled with 7-1 a little bit. I think he had maybe about 5 or 6 attempts, but to some degree he was able to close the gap a bit.
All right, so we have Chuck. It's just Narfman's stream. Narfman's stream, 10 p.m. seems to be the witching hour for his streams. Hopefully he maybe notched it. There we go. All right. So 7 free was free. We just didn't get to see it for Narfman. Narfman is a 7-9 enjoyer, so I fully expect to see 7-9 from Narfman, and I expect 7-4-2 from Narfman. Yeah, no, I'm not sure what Chuck will do.
Yeah, I know that Narfman has been going for 7-9 in his PB attempts just to see if he could squeeze out of those last couple of seconds to his advantage going into World 8. But I think we've seen 7-9 quite a lot this tournament this past week, just because if you die in 7F2, that's such a huge time loss with that burn cloud.
Exactly. It can if you miss it, you may be taking the factor of the hands away. $289, 7-8.
Yeah, very clean routing through 7-8. Yeah, it also double makes sense for Narfman to do 7-9 considering he has pretty convenient access to the Fire Flower.
Okay, we got 1 and 2 and 3. Oh. 4.
Uh-oh.
5. 6.
In 7-9, it's always that one wall that gives you the most trouble.
8.
Alright, Chuck is going risky with 7F2 without any sort of fire or hammer suit, so...
10.
Went through that star grab pretty aggressively, too. But he maintains his P-speed, he still has very good working knowledge of the levels, so he's getting through there pretty well.
Great job by him.
Yeah, also a good idea, just take that damage boost there, don't even worry about the dry bones, because you can just double power up on the airship.
Wow, great job by Chuck. Yeah, 7-4-2 has been kind of a scourge this tournament, and as you mentioned, a lot of people choosing to play 7-9 just to avoid the potential death and putting everything, risking it all.
See, that was a 41-22 A press from Chuck's side, so I have no idea. All right, so we're in the basement. We have fire. Very clean fort overall, just maintaining that flower. 280 boom boom kill. So yeah, you had a very good 7F2, even if we didn't get to see the first half of it.
So Narfman is going to hold on to he is going to have the cloud. He did mention that he does get nervous in 8-1. So we'll see if he's able to to hold on. And then, normally he does go for Ludwig fire kills. It'll be interesting to see if Narfman does that or not.
WhenChucAttacks PB is a 51-51.
Yep, and just I guess that's a good time to remind yes, this is a matchup of number 1 seed Narfman versus number 15 seed WhenChucAttacks. Right, Narfman's Warpless PB is 50-27 with early hammer manipulation, and WhenChucAttacks Warpless PB is 51-51. So we have 43-39 for Chuck with his wand grab. And so, yeah, Narfman is holding on to the cloud, and that's roughly around 43 seconds. So we're going to see Chuck ahead, but we have to remember that. Oh, great fire kill.
Yeah, I saw that Narfman delayed one fence post before entering the pipe, so he was setting up for the hundo pattern, so he knew that Ludwig was going to delay and then just shoot the wand, so he had opportunities to get opening shots in. It's really remarkable just how much the SMB3 community has just really improved overall just in the past 6 years. Like, just going through the challenge bracket for the 2018 tournament, it looks like a lot of the average times were like in the 54-55 range. And nowadays, it seems like it's not uncommon to just see like a 52 or a 53 in just some sort of throwaway race. So, I think we can attribute a lot of that to a lot of the discoveries that have been made through a lot of the community conversations and a lot of the practice tool resources, and just a lot of us just helping each other out. So, just want to take a moment just to give a huge shout out to the SMB3 community broadly while we wait on these auto scrollers. You guys have been awesome, and it's been a lot of fun just sticking around this community for the past several years, so big ups to you guys.
Yeah, Teeks provides a great fire kill resource for Excel spreadsheet. Louis has provided training tools for practicing levels, for subpixel manipulation. Very, very nice big community all about helping people get better at the game.
And it's also worth noting that Narfman and Chuck were actually part of that 2018 tournament, and it's actually what was part of one of the big factors that inspired me to start speedrunning the game as well. So I owe a lot to them as well.
And then, Chikubi has a great resource and tutorial. Mitch Flower Power has a bit older but great resource and tutorial. Budsy has a great resource and tutorial. So lots of resource out there for runners.
No Wrangless on Narfman's side.
And so and then just briefly checking back in the World 7 split. Chuck is 25 seconds ahead. Narfman still has that cloud, which if everything goes perfect for both of them, theoretically Narfman is about 18 seconds ahead ish. So that's well within the hands. If Narfman takes damage in anywhere and has to do the cloud other than the fort, then it could be really, really close. I'm glad. I think Teeks, I think you are one of the people that is able to frame count. So if we need a frame count, I believe you're the man for the job.
Indeed, indeed, I can. Also, I want to give an extra shout out to all the runners that stream in 60 FPS.
And I just upgraded to be able to do that.
Ooh,
oh,
no
hand
hands!
chucks!
This just got extra spicy.
Game given a makeup for that runaway bro and castle bro.
Yep, 99% strikes again.
Yep.
But I mean, if this ends up being his only hand, this could essentially just end up in a tie between the two of them.
Oh
okay.
my gosh.
Yeah, this is really close now, even when you factor in the cloud on the fort.
Yeah, if they play like perfect, it's like 5 seconds or less. Fire versus fire.
I hope that none of them are watching the restream and just adding that extra pressure to themselves.
Chuck dunks on 8-1. Spicy mentioned that he learned a lot from Chuck's tutorials, and I believe 8-1 kind of bouncing off of the under the cannon to bounce up to the turtle was one of the spots he mentioned. Wow, great job on E2 too. It's like he's been frozen and just came out with right at no rust at all, it seems like.
Yes.
And Narfman dunks on 8-1 as well. This is super hype. Wow. This is a great race.
So I think that A2 should be done by the time he finishes up the boom boom kill. Oh, got dangerously close to that sun, but he dodges it. Yeah, looks like it's going to be about a 5-second difference. 38 on the tank.
We do just have to remember that Chuck's timer looks like that 3 seconds or 3 seconds or so. So this may be closer than we see visually as well.
Yeah, just going based off the timers, Chuck was a 50-38 tank touchdown, and Narfman was 42, so 4-second difference, roughly.
What's the difference between like the best and the worst Bowser fall animations?
Oh, I actually have no idea. I haven't done any research into that.
Okay. Oh.
I would imagine whatever it is, it would just come down to frames, though.
Yeah, nothing more than a few seconds, or nothing more than maybe a second or two. Okay, Chuck, let's try to get an idea of when he enters the castle. 51-58. Oh, so he's a little bit ahead. So he's like 5 seconds ahead.
So I mean, there's the Karua one-up clip factor, and none.
Oh. And to stay safe there.
All right, none of them got Karua'd. Chuck maintains his peace speed through the statue room, gets through, dodges all the fireballs. Now it's up to just Bowser just to be nice, because they're both going to have to be doing some fire kills, so there's a slight risk factor with that, so it doesn't jump and shoot the fireball at the same time. Chuck got a little stuck, but he got out of there. And yeah, Narfman, very clean as well.
Wow, get your GGs out for Chuck and get your GGs out for Narfman. This is a great race.
This has been an incredible race. Shoutouts to both of them.
Wow.
Oh my god. All right, the official race times between them are Chuck 53:01, Narfman 53:02.
Wow. Wow, I'm so happy that I signed up for this to commentate this and wow.
Yeah, let's try to get both of these guys in here for the interview.
Holy smokes. Or 17.17 part. Wow.
Yeah, depending on how the rest of that Bowser kill went, that could have easily just like potentially swung it to Narfman just by a very small margin. Speaking of whom, we have Narfman in the commentator's booth. GG on a really fantastic race. That was really fun to watch.
Yeah, thanks y'all. Thanks for commentating and hanging out. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, dude. I'm so happy I get to race Chuck. I know I've said it before, pardon, but I used to race him like 5+ years ago, and I was so happy when I saw that it was against Chuck for my first match, so that was pretty fun too.
Yeah, once I saw what the matchup was, I knew I had to volunteer for commentary, because I thought that like this was really significant for me, because the 2018 Warpless tournament on SpeedGaming is actually what inspired me to start speedrunning this game. And you and Chuck were among the first people that I really got to see in like a sort of competitive setting. So I mean, like, even beforehand, I really had a genuine interest in the game. Most of the time it was just being able to see Mitch's GDQ runs. So being able to see more of the community and just seeing how much more accessible the game is, and just seeing like just how much fun it could be. So I owe a lot of that to you and Chuck. So I felt like things were just coming full circle by being able to cover this match, and certainly exceeded my expectations. It ended up being super close between the both of you. And even despite the fact that Chuck hasn't really been active in the speedrun community for a good 6 years, he's still really maintained a lot of his knowledge.
Yeah, even a long time ago, and still obviously, he's always just been so consistent. I think that was like the number one, if you were to kind of like park different people's kind of skill set or strengths, Chuck was always so stinking consistent, and still is just so awesomely consistent. So yeah, very cool.
Yeah, we really got to see that on display today. Yeah, one thing that I did notice about Chuck's gameplay, he didn't really seem too comfortable with a lot of the fire kills on the Koopa Links, so you were able to really capitalize a lot on those. And yeah, I think the restream had some technical issues in the beginning, so we didn't really get to see the first half of World 2. But it looked like you got the Dom box, didn't you?
Yeah, that's correct. He kind of came below 2-3, and I figured I would pick him up and then skip everybody in 4 and 5 and wall jump, but then World 4 bros did not cooperate in a way that let that happen.
Yeah, I think it was you who had the Cloud and Star switch on them, so you had to use the box a little bit early, and then the P-Wing kind of snuck up on you from behind 4-5.
Yeah, I was hoping, it was like definitely not getting the star, so I'll box early right after 4-3, and then I was hoping, it was close, the P-Wing was just taunting me, playing games with my heart, and then he did sure enough come up, and I would have preferred not to get him, but P-Wing 6'9" isn't all that bad, I guess.
Yeah, we had a couple of lead changes between the two of you, especially in the first half of the game, because I know that Chuck also had a runaway bro, so he had a little bit of a trouble in World 3. He wasn't able to get some the backup mushroom grab in 3/8, so he just kind of yellowed it and just did the stun kill on Wendy, and yeah, it was kind of floundering a little bit up until the end of 4-4 before he was able to regain his traction. So, yeah, I think that you were the only one who went for 7-9. So, unfortunate that Wall 2 was kind of giving you the business there.
Yeah, the clips were really terrible. I'm like okay on some of the silly early mistakes. Both 7-1 and 7-9. I was so hyped too. I was like pogging in my little Narf heart when I got the first clip the first try, and I was like, dude, it's working out. And then the second one was so much worse than I could have expected.
Yeah, and what also adds insult to injury is that like you also. It looked like you got the subpixel manip for 7-1, but then you were a little bit late on that duck jump.
I did, and you know what else in 7-1 early on? So I went to wash my hands like a doofus before because I felt uncomfortable with my hand situation. And then entering 7-1, I like pressed right a little tiny bit in the very beginning, and it just mixed up all the subpixel manip, all the X coordinate, all that stuff. So then it didn't work out, and I had some good attempts, but then the subpixels, I guess, didn't work out. And yeah, I was pressing A late and pressing it too long, all kind of stuff.
Yeah, and because of that discrepancy with the routing in World 7, it looks like, yeah, I think there was a 45-second gap between the two of you, but I think that you got the first hand, the 99%er, and Chuck got 0. So by the time you clouded 8F, you guys were only 4 seconds apart going into the super tank, 4 or 5 seconds. And yeah, you were able to narrow the gap a little bit because he struggled a little bit on the stairs climbing, just dodging the rotodiscs. And then, yeah, Bowser started to hop a little bit early, so he had a little bit of trouble just getting those last fire shots on Bowser. So that almost swung it. It was that close. You really do have to watch the replay back.
Well, that makes me so happy that it was close. That is like extra fun for me.
Yeah.
And Chuck he did not get anything on DM yet, so I don't know how long we might want to wait. They've been having some issues a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I'll try to send an invite to Chuck.
Yeah, so that was a great race. Yeah, Chuck had the Runaway Bro, and then also had Castle Bro head to the Sky Bro head to the castle to move 4. If you kept a copy of your race stream, if someone is technically handy with speed gaming side, maybe they can reconstruct some of the parts that we missed, because that was a great race. I'm trying to remember some of the parts. I'm trying to remember. Were you able? You almost had. Did you get 5.5 P speed, or did you get frame ruled like Teeks mentioned?
Yeah, I did not get 5.5 early P speed. No.
But you did have the start. You did start the tower or twisty and get the very hype 281.
Yeah. I was happy about that. Because of the world. So my plan was, if I could dombox the World 4 Bros, then I would like to use the star for 6-8 to set up the subpixel manipulation for 6-9. But since I had the extra bro, I figured I had an extra star as well, and what better place to save time than the twisty.
And Teeks was wondering about 6.5. I'm pretty sure that was a backup because you felt, or you kind of were worried that you may have not made it up to the despawn quick enough. Is that correct?
Yeah, so before the column of, I forget if it's 3 or 4 throw blocks, there's that one throw block up on the hill. So I landed on that one, and if you ever land on that one, you can't build enough speed to despawn the correct stuff that you need. So if I do that, I like to pick up the uppermost of the column of throw blocks and just bring it up, because question mark something sprites, it still despawns what you want. So it wasted like a second, but I think it's a little faster than picking up the Koopaling shell.
All right, it looks like we have WhenChucAttacks joining us.
Yeah, I got lost in the dressing room. Sorry.
No problem. In the build up, well, great race. I enjoyed watching you. I've been able to. Teeks has filled me in on your great history of speed running, and Spicy Chicken Spicy Boy was mentioning how he used some of your tutorials to learn. So yeah, I've heard all great stuff. I got to watch great race. So thank you for that. And I was mentioning that it's kind of like a Western where we have the hero or gunslinger coming back out of after being away for a while and just showing off that you still have amazing skills.
Oh, thank you. First, great race to Narfman. It was a lot of fun to do this again.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chuck, and GG to you. You were awesome and consistent as always. I was singing your praises a lot before you came in as well.
Oh, thank you so much. This is actually my first race, like actual official race in about 5 years.
Wow.
I've just not really been doing much speedrunning at all. But I've been the past 2 weeks I've been really grinding this, trying to get back into game ready shape, and can't be too disappointed. Feeling really good. Can't wait to do more.
Yeah, so the game was was nice with the 0 hands, but it was giving you the business early with the Runaway Bro in World 3 and the World 5. Music Box Bro went to the castle to potentially start racking up some moves of 4. You had a good bead on Roy for a fire kill, and then kind of as he started bouncing around, the hitbox started getting warbly. So yeah, good perseverance to just keep fighting and playing on through.
Thank you. I think my only good fire kill was World 1. Everything else just kind of fell apart. I'll admit that's probably the weakest part of my game, as I've never really grinded out how to learn fire kills. It's all just kind of just go in and see if you get it.
Yeah, the Iggy one got kind of squirrely as well. You had a few good shots, and then it started to transition to stomps, and then just got hit, and so that one got a little bit away. But great race. Yeah, Teeks. Feel free to jump in if you add anything more, and I guess was there a highlight for you, Chuck, that you may have been having trouble with and were able to pull off?
Gosh, let's see. It was nice to get 6-4 P speed. That seems to just never activate. Even though it feels like the timing's right, it just never seems to get the P speed. But it was nice to actually get it there in this run. Let's see. 3-2 was a whole adventure. Didn't get that P speed, and then fell in the water and just was. I think I bounced off every cheap in the whole level at some point. Didn't lose fire in that level though, which felt really good about that. Just so I could have to die in 3-6 later, but that's how it goes sometimes. I don't know. Maybe everything after 7-1 felt really good. 7-8 was really solid, and the castle, the fortress after that was really smooth. So yeah, it was good to pull those out.
Yeah, the 6-4 was pretty hyped because we actually had P speed from both you and Narfman, so it's great to see that. And then
Nice.
I'm not sure if you've watched any of the other races, but a lot of players have been playing 7-9 to avoid 7-4-2, and 7-4-2 has extracted deaths. So it was nice to see you go in there aggressively and pull it out. So that was a great change and great to see.
Thank you. Yes, I'm kind of trying to look into the new strats that have developed over the past 6 years that I haven't looked at, but like the 5-1 P-Wing and all that follows that. I don't know, I practiced a few backups, but I don't know, I'm not really committed to anything other than the strats I already know, but yeah, I'm just looking for consistency really at this point. Just doing what I know as best I can.
And yeah, I guess if there's anything else I want to add, yeah, narfman was actually just praising you, Chuck, just on your consistency, like just saying how historically that's always been one of your strengths. And I think we all got to see that on display after having really not seen any SMB3 from you for the past 5 or 6 years. And you and narfman were actually among the first few people that I got to see in the context of like a community-based competitive event. So that's actually what inspired me to start running the game myself. So I owe that to the both of you. And yeah, I heard that you were expressing some curiosity in just some of the newer strats and developments that were made. So that leaves me curious. Will we be seeing some more SMB3 runs in general from WhenChucAttacks?
I don't know. Streaming in general is really tough for me right now, just because of I don't know, just a household situation. It's small house. Wife works from home, about 10 feet away from where I'm sitting now, and it's just not a conducive atmosphere for a lot of streaming. But I don't know. We'll see. I might have some time next week. I could do it. I'll have some free time, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Just life in general has taken the front burner, and yeah, that's really all. Just haven't really had the time to do it.
Yeah, that's fair and totally understandable. And as with everything, life always comes first. So, but at the end of the day, we're all very appreciative that we were able to see you come back for this, Chuck. And we're looking forward to seeing more matches from you in the future as we make our way through the Swiss rounds. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, thank you to narfman again for organizing this Warpless tournament, and to SpeedGaming for hosting, and Neo Shazam for joining me on the commentary tonight. I've had a lot of fun, and I hope that everybody at home did as well. So, any other closing statements before we wrap things up?
Yeah, GG again to Chuck. Thanks you, Teeks and Neo, for commentating. All the commentators out there, even the viewers. Viewers, please consider Warpless SMB3 in the future. We'll do another tournament before too long, probably like a year. But thanks for hanging out with us and having a good time. Thanks, y'all.
Yep, ditto everything he said, and yeah, hope everyone enjoyed watching that. And it had to have been fun to watch. I can't wait to watch it myself. And yes, learn the game. It's a great game.
Thanks so much, and thanks so much, everyone, and have a good night. And oh yeah, before we get out of here, just want to remind everybody of the other matches that are going to be coming up this weekend. So on Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern, we'll have Ice Ball versus JT Knott at 6 p.m. Eastern. We don't have a SpeedGaming channel for that yet. And then Sunday, we have at noon, we'll have Mundi versus Rock Horse. So please be on the lookout for those, and we'll see you again very soon. Have a good night, everybody, and take care.
Good night.
Bye, GG.
Take care.